Snake, have you seen Earth versus the Spider?
Nope.
It's about this spider that suddenly mutates into a giant monster. They bring it into the city in a state of hibernation, but it wakes up and starts wrecking the place.
So why did the spider turn huge?
I told you, it suddenly mutated.
Yeah, right.
Snake, it's people like you that take all the fun out of watching movies. Always nitpicking and taking things too seriously. Honestly, why even bother? Look, the important thing isn't that it got big.
Then what is important?
The fact that there's a huge spider destroying the city. Suspend your disbelief. That's the whole point of movies.
What's that noise?
I don't know. Spiders. I told them to bring me one, and I'd believe it.
I can't say I blame you, Sheriff.
But Flynn's still missing.
Deep into caverns whose very air is putrefied by the stench.
What's up, man? What are we watching today?
We're watching Earth versus the Spider.
Oh no.
What?
I don't like spiders.
But what about Spider-Man?
I like the man aspect, as gay as that sounds. But no, yeah, man. A man versus a spider, I was about to say. Earth versus a spider. It's funny, when I've just written that down on my notes, and because of my handwriting, it looks a little bit like it says Earth, us, the spider.
Huh.
Go on, lad. Earth us the spider, would you? I mean, for the past few films, we've been seeing Earth versus humanity. So, one spider can't do that much damage, surely.
Well, we'll see.
We thought the same thing about Germans, and they did quite a lot.
I think we alluded to this last time.
Really?
Yeah, we talked about it in the outro. Yeah, you think I'll probably take Earth like a second to deal with, but no, it was actually close. But yeah, I'm floundering. No. So, without further ado, let's watch Earth versus a Spider!
Yes, let's.
Well, this week we see the return of a good friend. You know who I'm talking about?
A specific actor, or are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about our good friend, the Fireman.
Oh, really? I actually did not notice that.
What? You
joking?
joking?
No, I heard a lot of like brass instruments, but I don't remember hearing any theremin.
What are you talking about? It's like the first thing you hear in the film. When you got the spider web and like the credits, it's like.
Oh, I was looking at visual things.
Oh.
You know, with my eyes.
Well, no wonder he stuck around. You weren't paying any attention.
Look, I had my ears closed the whole time. I was so scared.
I'd also like to say that despite this being a movie about a spider, it's definitely a B movie, isn't it?
Haha. Very funny.
Yes, I thought so.
What do you think is the worst aspect? What's the most baddest thing? And I don't mean like badass.
I suppose there's a lot of stuff in this movie that's technically bad, but is quite lovable. I think I don't know if I can think of something that's just bad.
I think the only thing that peeves me, really, because like you say, a lot of it was like endearing.
Yes.
There was one issue with layering.
Oh, yes.
In the cave system. I can't figure out what was going on there. Like,
I assume
it was a background feature that ended up becoming a foreground feature.
I assume that in order to make that set, rather than build it, they painted it. And then, you know, like what a matte painting is, where they sort of film something and then they'll refilm it, but they'll like have a transparent, you know, like animation cells, you got a transparent layer and then there's another layer on top.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what they do, is they paint in the additional layer. And that actress who kept going underneath that probably wasn't supposed to go there. Or maybe, because there's another shot with that where that doesn't happen. So I don't know if they built it for that shot and then they just reused it for that shot. And, you know, they just didn't care that the layering didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it wasn't an issue. But there was that one scene with Carol and Mike where they were together. And Carol was just completely obstructed by this bad layering.
Yeah, the base of this archway. But, I would like to say the opening of the film, because it's not immediately apparent how naff this film is going to be.
No.
The opening bit, the father brings out a present. It has a note on it saying, "Oh, I got you this bracelet from Dad." And then almost immediately he dies, and he gets sprayed in the blood. It looks like he's getting sprayed in the face with blood.
Because the film's black and white, you can't really get a sense of what exactly the fluid is.
Yeah.
I've noted down that the spider's first victim was jizzed upon, and that's what it looked like. And he reacted as if he was being jizzed on. He went ah.
But it's just like very comically efficient storytelling, isn't it? It's like, oh, here's a guy, he's got a daughter, oh, he's dead now.
I mean, if you took away the spider jizz, it was just him being incompetent at the wheel, really, because he was looking down at the bracelet, and he looked up and he went, "Oh heavens, I'm going to crash."
But then after that, we get the bit in the school. And I wasn't sure for a while, but this was actually quite good, the way they're doing the note passing in class. So it's like building character, like these two have a relationship. Meanwhile, we're hearing this exposition from the teacher talking about electrodes and Tesla arcs and stuff. And he's like, okay, this is going to be important later. And it's a good way to get that information across, but still like having an entertaining story in the metaphorical mid-ground.
Yeah. Carol's appearance, I was very shocked because she does have the appearance of a very young girl, and she's obviously like a college student or something. But she doesn't sound like it.
No, she's got quite a husky voice, hasn't she?
She sounds like a middle-aged woman.
Yeah.
The beginning of a film, the first thing I thought was noteworthy about the beginning of a film was the title sequence when it showed Earth versus, and then in big bold letters, the spider.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, well, that's good. That's established just how big the spider's going to be.
Yeah.
And when you compare the Earth, the word Earth, with the word spider, you think, well, this spider's huge. But then we later find out it's not the Earth, really. It's a town, at most.
Yes.
It's more like a posse of police officers and scientists.
Yeah, and a few locals. A few very clumsy locals.
Yeah. A couple babies.
Yeah, there's that one baby that's just left in the street. We never find out what happens to that baby.
Yeah, he was abruptly cut off as well. He was crying. He went, ah! And then it just ended his scene. I was like, oh, come on. The kid wasn't doing that bad. He's a pretty good actor as far as babies go.
Yeah. It makes you wonder how he got... Because there was really no one who just scooped him up. What happened to that guy?
I suspect maybe he might have used foul language right after that, so they cut him off. And I gotta say, it's not all that gory.
No.
Because anything gory that does happen, it happens off camera. And the goriest thing you really see is some guy got sucked off and then is all of his liquid.
Yeah.
What did I just say? Some guy got sucked off and all of his liquid was now not in his body.
His vital fluids.
That doesn't help. What I've said there does not help my case.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few guys who get like bitch slapped and then they're like covered in blood almost instantly.
Yeah.
But the thing that stood out to me most about this film, and I was in tears at this, I was laughing so much, is the dialogue between Carol and what's her boyfriend called?
Mike.
The dialogue between them is so awkward and so naff. It feels like someone's writing it in sequence and they're not like editing it at all. And they're trying to figure out what happened to her dad. We know that he crashed because of a spider. And there's a bit where he goes, oh, look, see, there's this broken glass on the floor. Like, he must have gone in there and hit the garage. It's like, no, he said to my mother that if he had an accident, he'd call her that he was going to the garage. I was like, what? That's ridiculous. And then I was thinking, what if he goes, oh, but look, see, these splattered human remains. He probably slipped on him and just went off-road.
Yeah, I feel like that initially was an attempt to, like, build tension in the scene. But... they're just both contradicting each other all the time.
Yeah.
And that doesn't build tension, that builds frustration at these two characters. We're watching a couple, like, bicker.
Pretty much.
And that's not what I go into a film called Earth versus the Spider for.
Yeah, it's like every decision they make is like pulling teeth, because there's another bit after that where they see the crashed car and they go, oh my God. And it's like, what? It's just a crashed car. That's the car my father was driving. It's like too many steps to get to the solution. And then... when they're down there, it goes, where could he have gone? Maybe he went in that cave. There's just a cave over there now.
I swear, like, this is, with how little gore there is, I think it is technically a family film. Because nothing, I mean, you know, big scary spider, that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
But it's not too scary that you wouldn't take your kids to go see it. So when I see back and forth dialogue like that, that really is for children. Like, it was written for a kids program or something.
Maybe, but I mean, they do almost have like the reasoning skills of kids. But then, wouldn't kids be bored by that stuff?
Maybe. I mean, that's the only conclusion I can come to as to why they bothered to write them in that way. It was, yeah, like you say, it's quite frustrating to listen to.
And then even when they're going in the cave, it's like, Dad, well, we're only a little bit of a way in the cave. We're not going to find him right at the start. All right, let's go further into the cave.
And then he's like, wait a minute, I want you to stay here. Okay, but don't go too far. I'm coming with you. Like, what? Okay, you better come too.
And then when they're in the cave, she stood still. They've moved like a couple of feet, and she just keeps saying Dad, but every time she says Dad, she just says it with a little more attitude, like he's going to hear that.
Yeah, at one point she sounded like Solid Snake. You know when he says, damn!
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll say damn quite a lot in the first Metal Gear game. And then as the game goes on and he keeps saying damn, he goes, damn! I'm thinking, this is the same sort of, or maybe this is why Paramedic likes it.
So, eventually, they find the spider web. Again, they're clueless the whole time. It's like, oh, this is like that rope we found outside. They're like, just saying lots of leading statements, if that's a thing. And then when they do see the spider, you can sort of tell it's a split screen because there's like a cut-off point where they don't interact. And especially, there's another scene later where the spider's lying down in the museum, and you can see the grain moving on the left side, but the grain isn't moving on the right side, so it's just like a still image. But yeah, the spider's very inconsistent in size, isn't it? From shot to shot.
Yeah. And especially when you compare it to like the practical, physical puppetry that they use.
Yeah.
Because it is a real spider, isn't it? That's a real tarantula that they're filming, and they're superimposing it.
Yeah, and somehow they've keyed it out. I'm not sure exactly how. I was watching an interesting video recently about how they did Mary Poppins, and it was like they shot 2 images, and one of them used like green screen but orange, and then they got a silhouette of that and then used it to key it out. Because if you look at the Mary Poppins thing, she's like wearing a transparent veil, and that's perfectly cut out in like the cartoon segments.
Oh,
that's pretty neat. But maybe that probably would have been after this, so it probably wasn't that sophisticated. Because there was a bit later in the film where it looks like maybe the light is hitting its head too much, and it's got like a transparent body as it's moving across the countryside.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I remember that. That was a little weird. But I think the weirdest thing about it, because I can forgive that sort of visual errors.
Yeah,
because it's an old film and. I mean, how the hell are you supposed to do it otherwise? But I thought the weirdest choice they made was the sound that it decided to make. It was obviously a woman, possibly Carol's actress.
Yeah.
Just going... and that
it's like the siren from DuckTales, isn't it?
Yeah, but as the film went on, it sounded just like a regular woman. I'm thinking, is this just a woman in a suit, in a big robot spider suit?
As it was going to its cave, you thought it was saying home, didn't you?
Yeah, it really did sound. Oh. I was thinking at some point we were gonna discover it had eggs.
Yeah,
because I don't know. Well, spiders they do need to get it on, don't they?
Yes.
The male has to... I've seen footage of a male spider, which are significantly smaller than the female.
In this case, significantly smaller.
Yeah, they'd just mount them, like, just sit on top of their head and try and plop out its essence onto it and hope that it goes... It's very strange to me. And 9 times out of 10, once he's done his business, the female spider will just turn around and go, delicious, and eat the male.
Yes. In fact, there's this one spider I saw where part of it's, even when he's in there, he's like still showing off, and he does like a handstand where he's like he puts his butt in her jaws.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Spiders are strange like that. Peter Parker would never do that to Mary Jane, would he?
No. Misogynistic. No, not misogynistic. What's the word?
Gentlemanly?
No. Oh no, it was
chauvinistic.
No, it was in the Yakuza games. Masochistic.
Yes.
Yeah, Spider-Man. He's such a masochist.
So they escape the cave with their lives somehow, and they try to tell the police about it. And there's this whole scene where they're like saying, "Oh well, the police didn't believe us," and they call him like, "Ha, giant spider! What a load of malarkey! What a..." Next scene, he's brought like a whole fire truck or something with him, like loaded up with anti-bug spray or something. A whole team of people. Then halfway into the cave, he goes, "Hey, wait a minute! This is a waste of time. I don't even believe in this spider."
I fell asleep on the car ride here, and I forgot why I came.
But yeah. It's just, I gotta believe that they knew it was silly. Like, when they meet that guy Hugo, they think they've killed the spider, and they've dragged it back to their school or college or whatever to show it off and study it. And a bunch of kids come over, and they want to go into the hall so that they can play band stuff and dance and stuff. So they call Hugo, and Hugo's like, oh, who's calling old Hugo?
Old Hugo.
And somehow they talk him into letting him in there. They say something to the effect of, oh, well, we're going to get in there anyway, so you might as well let us in. Or they won't let us in at night, so you got to let us in
I'm
now.
not sure. It's that 50s talk where it's like, well, how about this and maybe this? And I was like, oh, well, okay, yeah, I guess you've convinced me.
Yeah, and the way he says it, it's like, all right, I'll let you in, you little monsters. But yeah, and then the spider wakes up. It does seem like, as they're playing the music, the spider's going like, yeah, that's a sweet beat. And he's like a real toe tapper.
Yeah, he couldn't help himself. He was thinking, I got to dance. I have to.
But yeah, they all run away. He sees it, and he, being the hero that he is, Hugo, we've only known him 5 minutes, but we all love him. And he goes up to the phone to warn the doctor. And he's like, it's a spider! It's a spider! The music's blaring. It's implied the spider comes to kill him. And then it just cuts to him on the other end of the phone and the music drops out.
Yeah. And you go, hello? What did you say?
Crazy old bastard.
No, poor Hugo. He didn't have to go like that.
Yeah. And then spiders attacking the town. Lady gets her dress caught in the car door. Doesn't know how to open the car door. Presumably gets eaten. You mentioned about the set and the shops and stuff.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, the sheriff and the scientist fella. Is he a scientist, or is he just...
He's an egghead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's a professor, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So they're together, and they can't see the spider quite yet, but then it comes around the corner, and... And then the professor goes off to the car, tries to get it started, and then the sheriff decides to go towards this building, which on the side of it says mattresses. But left of that, it's got a picture of a mattress, and it has the word gay on it.
Yes.
Gay mattresses. That's what it's called. And I like how his first instinct is to run away there. Whenever anything bad happens, that's where the sheriff goes, to gay mattresses. He knows he's safe. It's a safe place.
And then in the next shot, you point out that this is probably... They've only got one set right. And you notice, like, wait a minute, the spider was just here. There's the word plant. I saw that and it was like, and there's the gay mattress shop.
Yep, it was all there. They only had the town hall and the surrounding street.
Yeah, and the cave.
And the cave. And outside the cave.
But yeah, then the spider... It seems like the spider deliberately targets that guy's wife.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. Like, I was beginning to think maybe he had some sentience ever since the band started playing and it started to have a bit of a jig. I was thinking maybe there's more to the spider than meets the eye. And actually, I had a couple of theories on how the film was going to end. So one theory I had was the spider was going to do away with its ways of eating people, taking them away to the cave and saving them for later or whatever. And it was going to just join the band. As like a class act, he was going to dance because he's got all those legs, you know, he'd probably be good at it. Or she. She's probably a she.
And probably spare a couple of arms for playing instruments.
Exactly. My other theory, and this is a bit of a King Kong theory, the spider at some point fell in love with Carol. And she was planning to go back to the cave because she misplaced the bracelet.
Yes.
But I was thinking, wouldn't it be funny... if the spider had the bracelet the whole time, and when Carol finally got to the cave, the spider was there waiting and was on one of its 8 knees, getting ready to propose.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have put it past it.
The first lesbian proposal.
Between a spider and a woman.
A spider woman and a regular woman.
It broke new ground.
Sure did.
Here's one way it might have ended, though, because there was a bit of foreshadowing earlier. You know, Mike, his dad owns the movie theatre, right? Because he was saying on the phone, like, my dad's got a no picture in. It's got, like, puppet men in it or something. It sounds crazy. Sounds crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But on the outside, the film they're premiering is called The Colossal Man. So I thought, maybe that's foreshadowing, because there'll be a colossal man later and he'll fight the spider. A colossal man with his colossal foot.
Oh, right. I thought it was foreshadowing the next film. So it's going to be a planet of spider people. And there's going to be a big man in a cave going around frying them up.
It's a sequel to this, because they mention, like, if they take over, they'll become the masters and we'll become the hunted. So it's like a Planet of the Apes situation where, like, the sequel is a bunch of giant spiders, but they're just now an even bigger man. And then that's a prequel to the Monty Python foot.
Another thing the professor was theorizing was that whatever made the spider big We've got to know. It might make other things bigger. But okay, I didn't even realise the connotation there. I've got to have a big dick. But no, because that was never really explored after that.
No.
The whole film is just about this one spider. But yeah, there could be other stuff. Could be. You know.
It could be a whole franchise of big stuff. I mean, it's probably radiation. That's what it was back then.
They did make a series of it.
Did they?
Yeah, it's called Clifford the Big Red Dog. Something like that.
Yeah, well, they dumbed that down for kids.
I mean, this is pretty dumbed down for kids, I think. I really do think this is, like, sort of suitable for children.
Well, maybe modern children. I think back then maybe it would have been a bit more shocking.
It just seems like a big episode of Doctor Who.
A little.
That's what I was getting. This doesn't really seem like a film to me.
There actually is a Doctor Who episode where they do fight giant spiders. And do you know how they beat them?
How?
Well, there's this one guy who's meant to be like a Donald Trump sort of analog who wants to shoot them all. And the Doctor's like, no, they deserve a humane, natural death. So they use British hip-hop music to lure them into a safe and then lock them in there so they can suffocate to death.
Which Doctor was this?
13.
Oh, okay.
And then there's one more spider, the biggest one, who can't breathe anymore because it's getting too big. And then the Trump guy shoots that, and everyone's really sad, even though, it was suffering anyway. It was a weird... It was like a morally confusing episode, because why is like leaving him in a room to suffocate to death? Kinda. I don't know, but that's a whole different thing. We're talking about this movie, and with regards to this movie, it was silly, it was good, it made me laugh. What more do you want?
Would you watch it again?
I might do, yeah. I don't know if it will make me laugh as much, because last time it was just how much it continued to drag out that dialogue that just...
Yeah, I was thinking, like, if I were to watch it again, I'd want to condense it a little bit. But then you'd lose out on all those awkward, like, pauses and dialogue that take ages to, like, pan out.
And that sort of, like...
This is a very pandering film, I feel. There's a lot of unnecessary dialogue, which I think for them was to build tension, but it just did not have that effect. It had a completely the opposite effect.
The one thing we have to give it credit for, though, is that it does set up the Tesla arcs, and they do use the Tesla arcs at the end to take out the spider. And then they also use some... and then also some dynamite.
Yeah, dynamite. Just for good measures.
Yeah, just to be safe. Let's cover our bases.
I mean, I'm not really sure that's how arcing works. I don't know if spiders are the best conductors for two in-betweens.
Well, this is a big spider.
This is a big spider that doesn't exist.
Yes.
So you're allowed to do stuff that doesn't make sense either. Like, going in and out of a cave and be so indecisive and, all that really annoying stuff that people probably wouldn't do in real life. But there are a lot of stupid people in real life, so maybe this wasn't even a film. Maybe it was a documentary. And there are truly stupid people out there.
That would explain why the dialogue was so annoying.
Yep.
Well, that's Earth versus the Spider. And up next, we'll be watching Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
Hang on a minute. Dr. Strangelove? Isn't that a character in Peace Walker?
Well, yes, it is. Do you think it could be a reference?
No, I wouldn't call it a reference. I'd call it a blatant well rip-off. It's a blatant rip-off. This Hideo Kojima fella, he thinks he can just come around taking voices, taking names, taking ass.
Leave the king alone!
It's not my king.